They were just two friends. No drama, no falling out. Just two people who'd known each other since high school. Still close, in their early 20s. Mia and Jordan met in sophomore year. He was the quiet one, always sketching in the margins of his notebooks. She was louder, always dragging people into group plans they didn't know they needed, but something about them clicked. The kind of easy friendship that didn't need constant effort. Over the years, they traveled together, camped, hiked, shared playlists, and heartbreaks. People said they were like siblings. It was early spring when they decided to hike the South Fork Trail in Northern California. A familiar route, something they'd done before. It wasn't supposed to be anything special, just a day to stretch their legs and shake off winter. They brought lunch, water, an old camera Jordan insisted on using instead of his phone. They parked, took a selfie at the trailhead, posted it, texted a few friends. No more photos, no calls, no updates, no "we're heading back," just silence. They didn't call or answer their phones. At first, friends and family told themselves it was probably just bad signal. They were in the woods. That happened. They'd check in when they could. No one panicked right away. They were experienced after all. Probably just enjoying a long day, maybe running late, getting back. But by the next morning, their phones were still off, and no one had heard a word. That's when Mia's mom started calling people, friends, rangers, anyone who might have seen them. By noon, she filed a missing persons report. The rangers hiked out to check the trail. Didn't see anything unusual. The weather was good. There hadn't been reports of wild animals or dangerous conditions, but the hours kept passing, and there was still nothing. Volunteers were called in. Search teams fanned out along the known trail routes. Helicopters flew over the valleys. Drones scanned the tree lines. The forest is vast out there. Even with help, it's impossible to cover it all, especially when you don't know what direction someone went, or if they ever left the trail at all. No torn clothing, no gear left behind, no signs of distress. It was like they stepped off the path and disappeared. But Mia and Jordan weren't the type to take unnecessary risks. They knew the terrain. They didn't wander for the thrill, so people started asking other questions. Had they been followed? Was someone else out there that day? Could they have been lured away, tricked, or forced? It wouldn't be the first time hikers went missing in an area that was supposed to be safe. The deeper into the woods you go, the fewer cameras, the fewer witnesses, and the longer it takes for anyone to realize something's wrong. One of Jordan's friends said he kept calling and calling, let it ring just to feel like he was doing something, hoping he'd pick up and say, "Hey, sorry, battery died. We're fine." But it always went to voicemail. In the days that followed, the posters went up. Search teams rotated out. Locals talked. Theories spread, but nothing concrete ever came back. Eventually, the search slowed. The calls came less often. The posters came down, and the trail filled with hikers again, just like it always does. But somewhere out there, there's still a question with no answer. Because sometimes there's no scream, no struggle, no blood, no clue, no goodbye. Just two friends on a trail they'd walked before, on a sunny spring day, who never came back. And the truth is, it happens more than you think. In the US alone, more than 600,000 people go missing every year. Fortunately, most are found, but out there, in places where no one's watching, not everything that disappears leaves a trace. Some are simply gone.
They'll find you in the middle of the night.
Liam wasn't new to hiking. He wasn't an exercise fanatic. He liked the quiet of it, the distance. It cleared his head, pulled him away from everything and everyone that unsettled him. This trail wasn't even that remote. A couple of hours outside town, easy enough to get to, far enough to feel like solitude. Just one night. That was the plan. The day was uneventful at first. Clear skies, good pace. Liam stopped often to take pictures. He liked documenting the little details. Tree roots, sky breaks, small trails that branched off the main path. It was late afternoon when Liam raised his camera for another shot. The ridge stretched ahead under a sky heavy with dark clouds. The light was fading faster than expected, casting long, uneasy shadows across the trail. The landscape felt emptier now, quieter. Liam was already thinking about where to set up camp before night truly fell. And that's when he saw him, in the viewfinder, a man standing perfectly still on the distant ridge. Not hiking, not walking, just standing, facing him. Liam lowered the camera, squinted into the distance. The figure was still there, far away, but unmistakable. He lifted the camera again and snapped the photo, out of instinct more than curiosity. Something about the man's stillness unsettled him. He raised a hand in greeting. Nothing, no wave, no nod, just a man staring back, unmoving. Liam stood there a moment longer, somewhat confused, then continued on. But a few minutes later, he looked again, and the man was closer, down from the ridge, now standing maybe halfway up the hill, but still completely motionless. Something about it felt wrong, not urgent, not dangerous, but off. Liam picked up his pace, focused on the path ahead, didn't look back. But even as Liam picked up his pace, the feeling clung to him, like he was being followed. He walked faster, focused on the sound of his boots on the trail, didn't look back, didn't want to. But after several more minutes, something in him cracked. He needed to know. He stopped, turned, and there he was again. The man stood just 20 feet back, closer than before. The same rigid posture, the same blank expression, still not moving, still staring. His eyes, dark, unreadable. Nothing about him seemed right. Liam's breath caught. His stomach tightened. He swore softly. He wanted to scream, but his voice wasn't there. He turned away again, faster this time. His boots hit the ground harder, more urgently. He didn't stop again for several minutes. But when the trail curved sharply and dipped into a patch of trees, he paused, risked another glance. Nothing. The man was gone. No sound, no movement. Only the breeze rustling the leaves above him. He exhaled slowly, kept walking, still alert, still unsure. A few minutes later, the forest opened up into a quiet clearing. He stepped into it, looked over his shoulder one last time. Still no one. Still nothing. Only now did his shoulders begin to drop. His heartbeat began to slow. The tension that had wrapped around his chest for the past hour began to loosen, if only slightly. Maybe it really had just been some weird guy. Nothing to worry about. He pulled out his phone and checked for signal. No bars. But the clearing felt quiet, normal, safe enough for now. So he made camp. It wasn't unusual. He'd planned to hike out, stay overnight, and finish the loop the next morning. Just a small tent, a sleeping pad, and a compact stove. Enough to stay warm, cook a quiet meal, and enjoy a coffee in the morning. The sun dipped lower. Shadows stretched across the ground. The forest was still, too still. He sat in his tent after dinner, scrolling through the photos he'd taken that day. The trees, the ridge, and then that man. There he was, in one of the shots, distant, standing on the ridge, exactly as he'd been. Posture stiff, gaze fixed toward the lens. Liam zoomed in. His face was blank, unreadable, like a mask, with nothing behind it. His eyes were locked on the lens, not curious, not angry, just watching. No emotion, just blank, as if he wasn't really looking at the camera, but at Liam, directly, deliberately, like he wanted to be seen. And then, something else caught Liam's eye, something he had not noticed before. Another shape, not standing. He zoomed in again. A figure collapsed. It was a woman, and it was obvious to Liam. She was dead, skin pale and sunlit, her mouth slightly parted, jaw slack with stillness. Her eyes, open yet lifeless, stared upward toward nothing. The way she lay, silent and unmoving, told a story without motion. She hadn't just fallen. She had been left. Liam's heart pounded. He grabbed his phone again, desperate now. Still no signal, no way to call for help, no way to reach anyone. And that's when panic set in. Not the sharp kind, the dull, crawling kind that spreads through your chest and settles deep. Because now, it wasn't just an unsettling hike. Someone was dead. And a strange man had been close to the body. Close to him, then closer. Liam couldn't stop wondering. Had the man seen the body too? Or had he been unaware? Or had he been there because of it? Was he the reason the body was there? The longer Liam stared at the photo of the man, the more that blank expression seemed deliberate, not shocked, not confused, just expectant. Like the man hadn't stumbled onto a scene. It was his scene, a scene that wasn't complete yet, like he was waiting for his next victim. Is that why he'd gotten closer every time Liam turned around? How had he even done that? Why had he just vanished? Had he really disappeared at all? Or would he just appear again, without warning, out of the darkness? What would you have done? Would you have stayed? Would you have closed your eyes, knowing something or someone might still be out there, watching and waiting? These thoughts kept Liam awake. He sat upright in the tent, knife in hand, back pressed to the fabric, listening. Every sound outside made his pulse race. The wind, the trees shifting, a branch cracking somewhere too close. Each one a possible step, a breath, a presence. He didn't sleep. He waited. Liam watched the sky lighten slowly through the thin nylon walls. And when the first gray light of dawn broke through the trees, he packed up in minutes and didn't stop moving until he saw his car again. A bar lit up on his phone. Finally, he drove straight to the nearest ranger station and showed them the photo. They didn't dismiss it. They looked at it and launched a search that same morning. What they found was worse than anyone expected. 3 more bodies, covered in leaves and brush, partially buried, hidden with care. Like someone didn't want them found. 2 were matched to missing hikers from the year before. The 3rd is still listed as unidentified. The woman in the photograph had recently been reported missing, but the man Liam saw, he was never found. No one matching his description was seen on any trail cameras. No vehicles had been left nearby. There were no obvious tracks. Nothing to suggest he'd ever even been there at all. Just that one photo. A face that didn't belong. An experience that was real, yet felt surreal. And whatever happened out there felt unfinished. What if the man never stopped watching? Never stopped waiting? What if he was watching and waiting on a different trail? A trail that would bring Liam to him again, although he couldn't get the man out of his mind. Liam never went hiking again, for he knew that as terrible as it was, having that man in his head, it would be far worse to see him again in real life, and that was a risk he wasn't prepared to take. If this story unsettled you, imagine living it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Middle of the Night, and hit the bell so you never miss what's hiding just out of sight. And tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were Liam?
Watching from the dark, leaving no scar. Smiling in the silence, grinning in the gloom. Right behind the curtain or across the room. You can lock the doors, but it won't feel right. They'll find you in the middle of the night.